With the entire board, all 7 independent directors, resigning earlier this week after rejecting founder and CEO Anne Wojcicki's buyout offer.
Is something going on with a big tech company that wants your DNA data? Didn't we initially think that Google was there to help us search for useful information? 23andMe, do you want to know about your past, your lineage, and your heritage? Don't you want to unlock the mysteries of your DNA? Oh, Genghis Khan's back there in my heritage timeline. I was a little bit Icelandic. Hey, we're all one human family after all. Shouldn't we be loving one another, unified yet decentralized against oppressive, tyrannical global power backed by a big tech and authoritarian statism that pretends that it cares for you while incrementally protecting you ultimately from freedom? Shouldn't we be returning to that ancestral plane where once we waged in tribal warfare against the environment? And now, what is the one true oppressor? What is the one true opponent of our progression and of our freedom? It is globalism. Let's have a look at 23andMe, a story that came to my attention when I saw Alex Jones reporting on it, and the fact that all of the board members had simultaneously resigned. Now, obviously, this is initially being reported on from the perspective of, economics and finance. It's one of the most important aspects of the way that news is generally reported, at least these days. Let's have a look at what Jones posted initially. He said, the word is they sold the DNA data to China. China, would they ever do such a thing? Is it even possible? Let's have a look at some legacy media coverage of this story and unpack together 23andMe, whether or not there was some forbidden and not so clear upside to the acquisition of all of our DNA in this biometric nightmare where it seems that anything to manage citizens is on the table.
23andMe on the verge of getting delisted now from the NASDAQ due to a shortfall in the number of independent directors on its board. Deirdre Bosa has more on that story for today's Tech Check. Morning, Dee.
Hey, good morning, Carl. So drama has been unfolding this week. It's only set to ramp up. It began with the entire board, all 7 independent directors resigning earlier this week after rejecting founder and CEO Anne Wojcicki's buyout offer. Filling new seats will not be easy. The DNA testing company went public by SPAC in 2021. It has since lost 99.9% of its value from its $6 billion market cap peak, which makes it all the more surprising, perhaps, to note just who was on the board in the first place. It's really a who's who of titans in tech and healthcare. Sequoia Capital's managing partner, Roelof Botha, YouTube CEO Neil Mohan, renowned obstetrician and gynecologist Dr. Valerie Montgomery Rice. There was also the CEO of California Healthcare Foundation, Dr. Sandra Hernandez. These are very big figures. Now, it was Wojcicki's status in Silicon Valley that helped attract them in the first place. 23andMe was once seen as a pioneer in direct-to-consumer genomics. Her late sister, Susan, she was one of the earliest Google employees. She ran YouTube for nearly a decade and was also married to Google co-founder Sergey Brin.
Isn't it interesting that new alliances and relationships appear to be forming, backing products that are always presented as somehow expediting convenience or safety? Isn't it convenient to use Facebook? Isn't it convenient to use Google? The way that we utilize these commodities is we feel like we're making connections or we're searching out vital and valuable information. And of course, to a degree, superficially, on the veneer of reality that we're invited to skate upon, like some poor, giddy, juvenile Tonya Harding. Is that the one in your country? In our country, it would be Torval and Dean, that reference. But beneath the ice, there are great tech titans, likely in alliance with the state, accumulating data, doing extraordinary billion-dollar deals elsewhere that likely mean that back channels exist to provide the state with the data in question. I'm not suggesting that 23andMe are providing DNA data to China. I saw that Alex Jones post and I thought, what an interesting idea, like many of Alex Jones's ideas. But what I do know now is that Google, when they provided us Google Maps, of course, were using technology that previously belonged to the American military. What I do know now is that the CIA was sponsoring Sergey Brin and Larry Page's PhD way back when they were at Stanford University. What I do know now is that big tech corporations are so powerful that unless they have alliances with the state, they will become enemies of the state. And whatever's going on with Elon Musk, Plainly, there are areas where the state are not happy with him. Do you remember the crazy story where Elon Musk was able to facilitate the usage of Starlink for Ukrainian military bombings within Russia? And he says, I'm not comfortable with that. And that was further condemnation for him. You know, I know many of you, I watch the chats, have got sort of questions and about Elon Musk. You've got questions about everybody. I'm not surprised that there's this kind of perpetual state of paranoia where you think anybody could be controlled opposition. I'm not surprised because everything's so weird. You find out oh, did he? He's a hip-hop mogul. No, I don't look like that. Oh, this Jeffrey Epstein's got a lot of friends. You know, somehow we can be killed in a prison cell. No wonder no one trusts anybody anymore. No wonder, because we've been sold for a long time the idea that Google is for your convenience, Facebook is for your convenience, but of course it's for their convenience. And whatever you say about Elon Musk, plainly what he's doing in particular on X is not convenient to the globalist establishment. And that's not to say that the MAGA movement is perfect or any nationalist movement is perfect, but it's pretty easy to see why people might turn to nativist and America first or France first or UK first movements when they feel overwhelmed by migration and unable to have a reasonable conversation on the subject. And perhaps, and in my view more significantly, globalism, a top-down ideology, is choking out and smoking out our cultures, controlling us financially, doing favourable deals with globalist corporations, homogenizing every high street, homogenizing every mind, controlling all information. This is what we must oppose. Yes, it is ironic that a company that claims to give you ancestral information might be yet another way of claiming data, claiming control. Yes, it's amazing that a man like Bobby Kennedy, who once opposed Monsanto, a company that wants to patent and control nature herself through seed management, is now vilified by the establishment. Yes, it is extraordinary that big tech platforms that control information or proliferate information like YouTube, etc., clearly strangle and choke data. Why wouldn't they? That's favourable to independent thinkers like you. That's why it's vital that you join us on Rumble. That's why it's vital that you become an Awaken Wonder and support our work if it's within your means. Obviously, we're making a lot of good content over there. We're doing a lot of good stuff. But more important than any of that, it's vital that you remain awake and aware that these tools that are laying at our feet are likely to be our shackles, that we must awaken together spiritually and we must awaken individually right now, which I'm afraid I'm beginning to understand on some level means enormous suffering, enormous, inevitable, unavoidable suffering. But that's just what I think. Why don't you let me know what you think in the comments and the chat? We can't continue to bring you this beautiful content without the support of our partners. We can't make this content without the support of our fantastic partners. You're going to love this one. When I was at the Bitcoin conference speaking, me, Edward Snowden, Donald Trump, Bobby Kennedy, I learned a lot about the world of Bitcoin and the world of mining. Go Mining offers a new way of earning Bitcoin by buying NFTs, that's non-fungible tokens, that represent a share in real mining equipment. It helps to avoid the difficulties associated with purchasing and maintaining mining equipment. The cheapest NFT is only about $25 and you can upgrade and get more daily rewards. You start receiving rewards like literally 24 hours after purchasing. It's a real dopamine hit, baby. Or a crypto hit. I don't know how these things work anymore. Go Mining tokens and NFTs are backed by real data centers and mining equipment. NFT itself and mining power belongs to you for good. You can even sell it on if you want. Go Mining has 9 data centers with significant computational power, offering the lowest electricity rates. Check Go Mining using the link in the description. Explore NFT purchase options and use the code STAYFREE to get a 5% discount. My code is only valid for 10 days from now, so check it out immediately. Join the crypto revolution in a reliable way with Go Mining, who are going to take some of the risk out of this for you. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.